The year is 200 BC. The mighty Chinese Emperor Wu has just ascended to the throne. But his rise to power was not without its challenges. And there is one warrior who wishes to take it all back. A lone warrior named Li. He is tired of running. Tired of looking over his shoulder, always waiting for the next imperial guard to come and take his life. Finally, in the dead of night, he stops running. He drops to his knees before a towering cliff face and looks up at the jagged peaks above him. "This is the end," he says, his voice hoarse from exhaustion and fear. But as the sun rises, painting the sky in hues of orange and red, Li doesn't feel the end. He feels a new beginning. He begins to scale the cliff face, determined to reach the mythical land of the Dragon Kings hidden in the Forbidden Mountains. But after days of climbing, his hands are torn and bleeding. His legs are bruised and battered. Just when he thinks he can go no further, he sees it, a small cave nestled between two rocks. With renewed determination, he crawls through the cave and finds himself in a secret valley. Before him lies a vast lake surrounded by lush vegetation and strange rock formations. In the center of the lake is a small island, and on the island, an enormous dragon made of solid gold. The dragon is covered in intricate patterns and designs, each one telling a tale of the warrior's forgotten past. As Li approaches the dragon, it stirs, its eyes, which have been closed for centuries, open, and he sees his own reflection staring back at him. In that moment, a deep voice echoes through the valley. "Who are you?" Li asks. "I am the guardian of this place," the dragon replies. "And you, mortal, have trespassed." Li falls to his knees before the dragon, begging for forgiveness. But instead of slaying him, the dragon offers him a deal. It will teach him the secrets of its ancient bloodline in exchange for his service. Li accepts without hesitation. He trains for months, learning how to harness the dragon's power and transform himself into a fearsome warrior. He also discovers that the dragon is not just any ordinary beast. It is a descendant of the legendary Dragon Kings who ruled over China before the rise of the human emperors. As Li hones his skills, the memory of his past life slowly returns to him. He remembers who he really is, a prince who was betrayed by his own brother and forced to flee for his life. Now that he has regained his memories, he is more determined than ever to take revenge on his brother, who is now the mighty Emperor Wu. Li bids farewell to the dragon and sets out on his fiery path of revenge. He travels from city to city, battling the emperor's enchanted armies and liberating the people from their tyrannical rule. Along the way, he gathers followers who are inspired by his courage and determination. Soon, he has amassed a small army of loyal soldiers, and together they march on the capital. But as Li approaches the city, he is confronted by a vision from his past. It is the woman he loved in his former life, but who was taken from him by his brother. She is now the emperor's wife, and she begs Li to spare her life. Torn between his desire for revenge and his love for the woman, Li makes a decision that will change everything. He lets her live, but in doing so, loses his chance to defeat the emperor. Enraged and heartbroken, Li attacks the city. But he is no match for the emperor's power. He is captured and thrown into the same dungeon where he spent so many years in captivity. As Li sits in the darkness, he believes all hope is lost. But then he hears a familiar voice. "Do not despair, my brother," says the dragon. "For I am here." The dragon uses its powers to free Li, and together they escape the city. As they fly away, Li looks back at the Forbidden City, knowing that he may never see it again. He has lost everything: his love, his kingdom, and his chance for revenge. But in the dragon, he has found a friend and a confidant who understands his pain and his anger. Together, they disappear into the mountains, leaving behind the ruins of the old empire and the legend of the great betrayal.